Good afternoon, and thank you to Adam for the introduction. It's not often people get my name right, so it's always a pleasure. I think the quality of the speakers today really emphasizes how this event has become perhaps one of the highlights of the business calendar now in the Northeast. And I think it's a testament to the hard work of Alan and Nick and all those associated with the forum. I was saying to Nick earlier on that it is amazing the range of speakers from all three political parties and the quality of the speakers that's been attracted to it. I also think some special thanks are needed to the work of One Northeast and Alan and his team. Over my career, I've worked with many of the economic development agencies of various types and forms and shapes as well. But the quality of input, the speed at which they respond, and the flexibility of the team that Alan's put together is extremely impressive. And whoever I've spoken to in the business environment, it never says anything less than that they're extremely impressed working with them. We ourselves at EGA have done a couple of things on Northeast, and I think on one of them we were embarrassed by how fast they went. We were trailing in their wake. So hopefully you're around after May. The earlier session set out the thinking, I say, among all three political parties, and clearly there's much to consider as we go forward. The election is going to be close. I think hung parliament is where the bets are sitting on at the moment, but you never know. An outcome can clearly going to have some major impacts on some of the policy areas that will affect the Northeast, unfortunately. Yet I think if you look at the low carbon agenda, what's striking is actually all three are so close. And really, if you look wider, there's an understanding about that. The world simply has to reduce its carbon emissions. There's no way that the current level of emissions can be sustained. And it's one of those ones where, despite the disappointment of Copenhagen, I think most people are pretty confident about the direction, about the investment that's planned, and the fact that there will be eventually binding emission reduction targets right across the world. The previous speakers, I think, have all covered about the size of the opportunity, the figures quoted are sort of mind-boggling around it. So I think what I'd like to really focus on is about considering how the Northeast can make the most of it, and what are some of the key factors and key challenges that we face in this region going forward about it. I think out of all the things about technology, the infrastructure, the need for skills, I think if we take those as a given, clearly the investment and the work that have been done by NAREC and the facilities that provides us is a key advantage there for us as a region. But I'd like to suggest that the key defining advantage is really about strong partnerships. It's about the quality and the depth of the partnerships that we can form between the public and private sectors that will give us that advantage going forward and keep us ahead of the game. I think in terms of my own company, EGA, EGA is a pretty good example of this. Formed in Newcastle in 1990. But if you look, perhaps the last 5 years for us has been the most striking. In 2004, we employed just over 300 partners. Today, we have nearly 5,000. Of these, about 1,500 are core operations, our development teams. They're based in Newcastle. And our program later on, which I'm going to talk about, the Clean Energy Program, they'll see us recruit a further 300 partners on top of the 5,000 that we have. Clearly, our program management skills, our expertise in terms of domestic installations and commercial installations now of heating systems and renewables, stuff that Adam mentioned, are major factors for our continued growth, reasons why customers come and talk to us. But that's only been possible because what we've done is to form partnerships with the public sector right from when we began back in 1990. And those are the things that really distinguish us and provide us with the platform from which we've then grown, and spectacular growth recently. But it's the base from where we all started. And if you look at it, I'd suggest that the same key of success applies to many other companies in many other fields that you talk about. It is the ability to create those partnerships and then to harness those going forward.